Best in Class.
Hi, I'm Alison Chang, and you are listening to Jimmy Lam on RTHK Radio 3.
So according to Wikipedia, headhunting means the practice of literally taking a person's head after killing them. And in front of me, I've got one of the most prominent headhunters. Now, shall I run for my life now? No. Headhunter is another meaning of an employment recruiter or executive search. And my guest today is not only a headhunter, but also a writer, a trainer, an all-rounder. And she is Miss Alison Chang.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Alison. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, as a matter of fact, I got to correct you. Whether or not I'm prominent, yet you would have to find out.
Okay.
A headhunter, yes, for sure.
Okay, sure. So first of all, Alison, how did you enter the headhunting field in the first place?
Well, as a matter of fact, I went to one headhunter looking for jobs.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I was being, offered, why don't you try out? Because they're looking for someone to start up banking and finance sector. And I said, well, I haven't got any experience. And, the person who recruited me, of course, apparently is a very good sales. And he said, you got all the qualities. And that's how I get started.
Oh, okay. And here comes a tricky question. So what do you like most and least about headhunting, Alison?
Well, as headhunters, that's exciting, as a matter of fact, because you have to look for the prey.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of chances to talk to executives. You have a lot of chances to get to know them in person. And you got a lot of chances to know about what's behind their stories, because it never comes in easy anyway. And this is the part. And it's very, really, I would say, apart from, it was once a very lucrative business. Okay, because we do make good monies.
Okay.
And but that's not all. It's the satisfaction, meaning you manage. To me, of course, it's only a deal. Okay, I mean, to close the deal, of course, all headhunters would love to. Okay, and I make a good living out of it. But the greatest part is that I managed to help build someone's career. Okay, it's not just a job, but a career, and that's something I do genuinely believe. Okay, if it's money you're only after, you'll never be able to build a career. And I managed to help someone, to help build their career path, and to find someone that fits the job. I would say it's like a good match. Okay, for both my clients. I mean, someone who's looking for a job and someone who's looking for a talent. I can put them together, and that's probably the most satisfactory part. Least
It's always
okay.
a tricky one.
Least, I would say, you work very hard. Sometimes it's not about not being able to close the deal that's making me feeling so frustrated. But the part that my effort being straight, I mean, they don't really appreciate it. Sometimes it's because they are asking for terms. I mean, not too many times that you really could reach agreements, especially when both parties stand firm on their own grounds.
And they're not being realistic.
Sometimes, yes. At sometimes, okay. And I do understand, but then I am the one to be blamed, Sometimes they will say, hey, how come it's so close to closing the deal, and it didn't work out? Could it possibly be for the employer side, could it possibly be that you have another better offer for him or her?
Oh.
Okay. And on the employee side, I mean, the job searchers or the searchers side, would you probably have another candidate better than me to sell?
Yeah. A lot of conspiracy thoughts.
Yes, which, as a matter of fact, that only those who are not in our industry would think that way. Why would in this universe? Because no one wants to close the deal better than I do, because I have to make a living, right? Yeah. And if I do have the best candidate, why do I have to sign someone second best or trying to beat myself? I'm competing with myself. That's stupid, right? But they don't understand. And that's the case I would find very discouraging.
Oh, okay. And as a headhunter, you must have worked with a humongous number of candidates and clients.
Yep.
Could you share with us one of the most unforgettable moments or experiences? Must be a lot.
This is probably one of those I would never forget for the rest of my life. It's because I found a listed company, a new COO, Chief Operating Officer. And it hasn't been easy. Okay, it's almost a 2-month search. And at midnight, I received call from that only 2 weeks old COO that he got another offer.
Oh,
I was astonished. I was shocked. I was so, I mean, I couldn't help but shout at him. I said, how could you possibly leave in 2 weeks' time telling me that you have another better offer? I mean, it's it's totally unethical that you just started and that you said you have another offer. You should have turned all offer away once you've signed, and especially you've commenced. Yeah. It's not just that you've signed an employment contract, but you haven't commenced. Okay, I will still understand to a certain extent while I don't buy. But you've actually started working for 2 weeks and then you were telling me that you have to leave. I say, is that fair? It isn't fair to everyone. And I said, to me, that's a suicidal act. You're killing your career. And he insisted. He said,
he insisted?
Yeah, he insisted.
Is it for money or?
Now, he told me, I would say yes, because he told me that's two jobs hand in hand. Then he's trying to negotiate. And of course, at the time, my offer was the best. My client's offer was the best. So he signed and he commenced, and he turned down the other offer. But out of surprise that company did go back to him. Okay, with knowing that now what he's having.
Okay.
A better that beats his current package. And he said it's so good that he found irresistible.
Okay.
Okay, and he said, though he knew that was not right, but he said, it's so good that I have to take it. But I asked him about irresistible. I think, is this something about money? Or it's about career? It's about what? He refused to comment. By his refusing to comment, I know it's nothing but, of course, a very attractive package. So I would, you can imagine that was 1 a.m. in the morning. And I was sitting on my bed, thinking what I should tell the CEO early next morning.
Yeah. Yeah, you must have a long night.
Yeah, such a long night. Yeah. So I have to find a replacement for my client within 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So this is something I would never forget.
And just curious, how did that person go in his career path?
Well,
afterwards.
Okay. In about less than a month's time, because he called and asked, and he said, there's no new replacement yet, because the replacement I found need to give tender, when it's such a senior position, you don't expect the person, even though we're willing to pay it to get him off earlier, but we won't, because you won't want that to happen to you too, right? So he's on notice period, so he can't really actually commence right away. So the position was still vacant, yes, at the moment. So he called and he said he found out that the position is still vacant. Can I come back?
Oh my God. So it's like going from one place to another and coming back.
Because he's compared. Okay. So now he found the previous job is better, and he said, and you won't believe it, Jimmy. He called and I said, I immediately turned him down. I said no, because I would not want to, and I do not have to disclose whether or not I found another replacement. And he called the CEO himself.
And begged for the job?
And said he knew. And because the CEO told me that he was blaming me for not willing to ask, but turned him down straight away. He said, I'm not professional.
Oh, wow. You're like the scapegoat.
Okay. I am not professional. So, of course, what answer would he be expecting to get from the CEO? Of course, a big NO. And on top, the next day, the CEO told everyone in meetings that what had happened. Okay, that he called and he's trying to come back. Of course, we would not take him. I just don't understand why. Why would you, if I were him or anyone, if you just walk out that way, okay, and you would expect you can just swipe everything off as if it never happened, and I just come back and I resume and I get the job? Isn't it ridiculous?
Yeah, the people all know him, right? They can...
Well, what kind of an example would it set for an organization that someone came in, on board for 2 weeks, left, and then come back after a month's time? How we go? It's a listed company. It's not just the CEO himself, but what about the chairman? What about the board of directors? What are you going to tell them?
And so it's like changing his hairstyle. comparing. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I grow it
essentially-
back and it gets long.
One
okay?
day I want that, and the other day I want another
Yeah,
one.
it's similar. It's just that exactly like that. You just, okay, I cut it short, and then you tell your hairdresser that I want it long again in a week's time.
Yeah. And please excuse me for this, but now stepping into your family life, but would you like your daughter to follow your footstep of being a headhunter?
Well, I would say, I have more than just a daughter. I have a son too.
Oh,
okay?
okay.
But it's not about whether or not I want them to follow my footsteps. Okay, that's that. I would have to say, on a career perspective, she has to find out what she wants to do. Okay, it's her life. It's not what I only want. Okay, but on the other hand, I do want her to follow my footsteps, but not on the career aspect. Hardworking,
Your attitude,
dedication, go pursue your dreams, I won't back off. I don't take no for an answer. I never settle for less, things like this. Yes, I do want her to follow my footsteps, but not on job perspective or career perspective.
Oh, okay. And before I let you go, Alison, could you share with us some tips on how to become a successful person like yourself?
Well, I would say, first of all, I am not successful by no means. Okay.
You're being humble here.
No, I'm not. I'm not, because I don't work hard, or I'm not doing everything just trying to be a successful person. It hasn't been in my dream saying that, okay, I'll make a wish, I want to become successful. No, never. Okay. But I do enjoy what I do. Okay, I'm very passionate, because I think I remember what Steve Jobs said about success. And he said, you got to be really passionate. You got to love it, because it's so hard. I mean, the road to your dream, or to fulfilling your dream, or what, is so hard that any rational people would have backed it off. So you would really have to do and love with your heart to be able to endure. So I would say, in that terms, I do like what I do so much that I'm willing to give everything for it.
Oh, okay. So thank you very much, Alison.
Thank you.
For coming in today, and all the best with your career.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you.